both of the side lanes, especially with bubbling there, and a lot of hard CC, but I don't know if I would, if I was CJ, given what we've seen from them so far, I don't know if I'd be relying on Sky to win me this game, Papa Smithy. And he's coming back with the Sheen for more damage, and here we go, Sky in the mid lane has to flash, there's a flash follow-up from Winged and Kuzan, first blood on Victor. 2 flashes used, 1 flash taken, but horrendously outfarmed. When we saw the Crew Tigers at the end of last year, and we saw Hojin's performance of Worlds, his Winged takes some damage. They're actually going to GP ult and throw Che in. Bubbling is caught, and he will die as soon as he comes back down to earth. Che actually picks up that kill.
They don't even have to invest too much into getting it. Just nice movement from Kuzan.
I can't,
in position for it.
Obviously, I can't count the number of times I have seen Bubbling die in the bottom side of the river so far this season. He gets caught out there all the time and collapsed on, and he doesn't have the pressure. Look how fast Kuzan was able to get there. They're going to try and respond with a dive. Trace actually getting low here in this top side, and can he survive this? He's going to keep running right here, flash for flash, but he's in the brush. Meanwhile, Winged on the opposite side of the map. Sky is out of range of that gold card. Wild card's not going to hit it. Trace remains safe. And now Untara going to knock Rek'Sai back into base. Now can they take a turret? But Pilot here getting a lot of auto attacks. Kramer, actually, you know, League of Legends is seasonal. Trace actually getting jumped here again. He's going to GP ult himself. There's the knockup coming through, and finally he's going to go down. Untara tanks the turret. Sky still takes a hit.
But this is actually
on the retreat, but they're going to get the mid turret, so this is not going to be a good trade for CJ.
But at least they had... He had an Infinity Edge. He's going to be done at, what, 32 minutes maybe?
I think that's the kind of timing we're probably looking at, maybe even faster depending on how much more farm he can get. Dragon number 2 now in the hands of the Jin Air Greenwing.
What is lane pressure?
Yeah, I was asking myself that game. Meanwhile, 3rd Dragon now. Jin Air happy just to play around this objective until somebody stops them.
CJ just seems to be slowly losing through inaction. That is the reality that we're seeing in this game.
Yep, there we go. Speaking of slowly losing, no one in the bottom side. In addition to his Iceborne and his Muramana, that's the first time we've seen that. Usually they'll Blade of the Ruined King, and he honestly needs that right now. As we see the engage coming in, Trace is just going to TP in. Sky turns golden, but Trace is going to turn him into gold, pick up the kill, and they're going to back out.
Might even go back to the Baron plan. That's been something that looks pretty straightforward. Sky has a 50-second death time. We're 33 minutes in. Those longer death timers are certainly in full display. Trace is looking for the link.
Just want to bait it. And there we go. Pillar comes through. They're going to try and get people in this choke point. They have to run through the river. Mad Light pops his ultimate, trying to escape, flashes over the wall. And they're chaking a flash for another pillar. They will catch Bad Life on the edge in spite of the Poppy ult. Getting rid of Che.
Actually, in isolated games, did this sort of display last season. It was just finishing the game was something they struggled at.
Bubbling takes the big barrel hit. Trace there, just going to slash him down. Passive will finish off the kill. Trace going to eat some oranges, I guess. You can't actually cleanse the knockup there, Trace. And Untara going to go in. Meanwhile, Kuzan is not there, but more barrels going down in the choke point. They actually managed to get into the river, so a bit of a mistake there from Jin Air. And True Shot Barrage will hit Pilot. Untara going to follow up right afterwards. Misses his ultimate, though, as Kuzan sidesteps it. And there's Untara going to be falling. Chaos Storm zoning Sky out of this fight. Kramer trying to get the Mystic shots in on the side, but Mad Life is dead. Trace now right in the middle. Double kill for Kalista. Triple kill for Kalista. Quadra kill for Kalista.
Will it be the Penta?
Is it going to be the Penta here from Pilot? Pilot going to try and hop through this minion wave. Exhaust goes down, and there's the gold. The Zonias, will he finish it? Penta for Pilot, and they're just going to pile in through to the base.
That was really well played by Jinna. Okay, they could have been slightly more on point with denying the entrance to the Dragon. They give up the Dragon. It's not a perfect game, but only a single kill, 2 turrets and a Dragon to show for 37 minutes of League of Legends from CJ. Controlled, on-point league from Jinna.
Yeah, very nice shot calling. Really good use of that composition. They didn't give CJ anything at all. I mean, the TF ults were actually in favor of Jin Air that game.
Destiny probably cost them the last game. Destiny needs to be the ultimate equalizer this game.
Yeah, even that said though, Jin Air I think definitely has a large damage advantage in the late game. Carry that Victor to the TF and the Lucian over to the Callista. Maybe trying to wrap around. Now there is a Rek'Sai here at the Krug, so there might be a possible counter to this. And they're going to go in bubbling, going to try and find a Cocoon. Che early is going to get knocked right into the turret, actually has to repel. They are going to get first blood onto Che. Bubbling there, takes a turret hit, but does make the gank work. CJ is available right now, but Jin are more interested in this Dragon now that they've swapped their lane back down to the bottom side. They're going to take it. Nar zoned off the turret, is going to clear that pink ward out deep in his own jungle. But they're going to trade Dragon for a turret right now, Jin. It's a little bit longer than anticipated, and Wing will be able to go get the red buff as soon as his tunnel comes off cooldown. Especially with this Alistar coming through. He's not level 6 yet, but he's still potent, and here we go. Miniwave hits the turret. There's the knock-up. Untara in a world of hurt. Kuzan there too. Exploded. Kuzan picks up the kill. And there is a TF ult just to the mid lane.
Regular back time, as they're used to going back and coming back into lane after taking a bad trade. Is
Jay gonna get hooked. They're gonna grab him. Bubbling is here, but Chase still has ultimate. Does pop it immediately. Wing gonna try and turn this around. They're gonna punch Kramer back under the turret. Here comes the TP. Fate's call goes through. TF also here. Everything coming around. Trace gets low, and he's not going to make it out of this engagement as Sky turns it around with the help of the Twisted Fate ultimate, and now they're going to push forward onto the bottom lane tier 1.
I mean,
they did it.
First time they didn't mess up early.
That's really going to turn around their negative 2100 average, actually.
Hey. Improvement. That's all you can really hope for from this squad. Seeing it this game.
Uh-oh. Che actually going to go in for the engage right here. Trace still about 50% of the Narbar. Bubbling low, bubbling burning, and there we go. Che going to pick it up with the ignite. And Tara has to flash over the wall. Kuzan here still on the pursuit. They are very afraid of Trace. Generic here right on top of that Dragon Timer as they search for number 3.
And CJ, they're recalling as the enemy team is taking their third Dragon. That lets you know just how out of position they are in terms of either making the assertive move and trying to take that top turret with multiple members, or find this Dragon, because they didn't either.
Nope, and nothing happening there.
They have such quick reactions that you would think they could be a bit more decisive with their warding players. They smelled something.
Uh-oh, Sky actually going to get hit by the Chaos Storm. Kuzan just destroys him.
Pops him.
Wow, so a little bit too aggressive there from Sky as Kuzan came in too easy. Well, there it goes, they finally get it.
The ward debris going to be useful for future ward clearing missions as, yep, 4th Dragon. Game's on a timer already.
Yep, there it goes, and Tara here, primed to TP.
It's just you watch moments like that where CJ are just happy feeding around this Baron, just looking around, putting down wards, watching debris, and you just see Jin make the big plays.
Jay doesn't have to use his ultimate, and TF going to respond with a Destiny. And Tara zipping in, Jay gonna get caught in the back line. They will take him out before this Rek'Sai could come in on the tunnel. There he is, a hook immediately onto Trace actually. Was the TP onto the tunnel instead. Trace gets popped, and a mistake there. Trace could have canceled that, was not in Mega Gnar form. Big mistake.
First communication error. Didn't cancel, and his team didn't back him up, so of course he singled out and killed. CJ have very good Baron secure. This is their time to take it down.
Yeah, but there's a lot of AoE left, and they're going to try and poke with the Lucian in this bit. Tara's getting low. There's Winged. He's going to get in, but Callista will take it with the Rend, and they can't kill Untara in the end.
So much map pressure with the Baron and the Twisted Fate Swift push. Looks good.
Oh, but Mad Life is destroyed. There we go, Untara on the back end, Wing coming around from the flank. Untara has to flash himself as they are on the run. Trace about to hit that Mega Gnar, but he does not have flash to pursue.
Slightly ahead in CS, but otherwise behind his lane opponent. And looking for a pick onto Maokai, multiple members coming.
And here we go, Untara in the brush by himself, will pop his ultimate. TF ult also used. They're going to try and go on a Pilot here who's by himself. Now Che going to knock Sky up. There's the culling coming through, but Pilot in a world of hurt in the corner, and he's going to fall. Che also dies. Che did not have his ultimate available for that fight. Maybe a bit more than they could deal with at that time.
This fight will be very even between the two teams.
Now Trace has no Narbar right now. He's going to try and build it up on a turret. They're going to catch Winged on the side, and he's just going to get CC to die. Kramer picks up the kill, and they couldn't collapse onto Untara fast enough. Trace about to hit that Mega Gnar form, though. Can they take out Untara? Chaos Storm down onto him. Trace is going to Gnar into the wall. They take out Untara. Double kill, though, for Kramer, who is carrying this game. Shut down onto Untara, 2 for 2 so far, as Sky also fell in the chaos. And who is going to take this? It doesn't look like CJ is going to be able to pull this one out. There's a lot of poke from Jin Air remaining.
Sky made a pretty big mistake, poured it into the backline to try and buy time on the Victor, but had no mana after the gold card, so only really Zoniast with no mana. Obviously not a big threat for that. The Dragon has started. Bubbling's low.
And here comes Che. Bubbling going to get caught out. He gets just yanked over the wall with the lantern. Che takes a rend, has to flash out of this. Have they gotten enough damage? Bubbling nearly dies. Pilot now at 50% HP. So is Kuzan. Everybody low.
Jin Air have both their carries alive.
Antara, they need to wait for Antara here to come back up. He's got TP. Trace does not. So there's a chance here. They're going to back off. They know Antara's TP is up. And so they're not going to be able to do it. Kuzan will take blue buff instead.
It's good threatening from CJ, because as I was mentioning, Jin Air have both their carries up. There's no 3v3.
Here comes Antara. TP in.
Jin Air wins. Minions are pushing aggressively in both lanes, though.
CJ gonna take Dragon here, so that'll prolong this game further. No number 5, nice denial from CJ. Entus. Sky comes back
the
up.
minion wave, you can go for the back door. Instead, they're gonna pour it in. They want the fight.
They do want the fight, but everybody from Jin Air is here. Trace is also nearly Meganar. This is maybe not the timing that CJ wanted. Gonna grab Trace immediately, but he's gonna hit that Meganar instantly at the start of this fight. Untara in the front line getting chunked by Pilot. He's gonna be the first to fall. Meanwhile, Trace here on top of the carries. Huge combo from the Victor, and that's going to be it here. Sky now on the run. Trace, the designated chaser. This chaser is no longer on Jin Air, so here we go. Boom, dead.
CJ made a
That
litany
was
of errors there.
a terrible call from CJ, and also a very poor team fight as they split up and left their carries alone with Victor and Gnar.
I mean, CJ engaged in. They went for the engage, and then it left both the carries exposed after the engage went poorly. Why are they teleporting so aggressively? They're just not playing around the naked inhibitor at all. In fact, they're going to be the ones to lose their inhibitor in this scenario.
And need I remind you, Papa Smithy,
Death timers.
30 seconds for the death timers.
They're just going to lose the game.
Yeah, probably just going to lose the game. I mean, we do see Bubbling trying to cut the wave with this Elise, but it's just not going to be enough. The minions are already there. And now the Nexus is going to fall as Trace and Chase slowly auto-attack it to death. They go after a final style kill on the Bubbling and Mad Light, but it will be Jin Air with the 2-0 victory in our first series of the night.
CJ's rookie roster really betrays itself right at the end. There was so many different ways they could approach that Baron. A naked inhibitor and a Twist of Fate with both Destiny and teleport available. Instead, the Twisted Fate ults onto the Baron Force. As you mentioned, not playing around the Naba for once. Not playing around, funneling up and then initiating.
Well, they have a chance at least, Papa Smithy, to win the lanes. That's the upside here, is that if we get standard lanes, Samsung has a chance to just take an advantage straight out of the laning phase. They got the Tristana counter pick. They have the range advantage against Poppy with the Gnar. Rift Herald?
Very, very early Rift Herald.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to give it a score, though, from what we've seen on how KT likes to play.
The score doesn't die, actually. Very aggressive with the juggling, but yeah, another one of these teams that prioritize giving that buff to the jungler. Zoning pole for Pulverize.
No, just Pulverize.
Well, he attempted headbutt, was clearly not in range for it.
All right, Dragon coming through here. Crown zoned out. He's going to take a bit of damage. Fly trying to buy time right now, but they're going to engage. Arrow actually caught in the middle of all of that. They do get the Dragon, but at what cost? Crown actually gets destroyed by Score, who pops his ult from the Dragon Pit. He then flashes out Stitch in the middle, and now Ambition gets knocked around by a Poppy ultimate. Score still pursuing, but everyone is so low on KT that they can't follow up any further. Still, a Dragon and 2 for none.
And usually you have to go Q-max if you're going to go Bloodthirsty, so in general, not really ready for team fights. Oh, it's Ambition. Caught out, but it's not Mad Life going for the hook for the play this time.
Nope, and here we go. Fly gonna ult in. Ambition caught out once again. And there's an Ambition moment.
Not even a Mad Life style turn to the Rift Herald. It's not the 4-minute Rift Herald. It's left alone for a while.
Now KT has actually done better with this Rift Herald than we've seen most teams do. Even in that mid lane after the Dragon play right there, Score still had the Rift Herald, and it did really help put down the damage to take out the turret after they got the Dragon stolen away.
Look, jungle AD carries picking it up. That's the one class of jungler that makes sense to me. But that factor is Sunday's already on top of Cuvée.
Yeah, forces the flash, and here's Score. They've got the minion wave prepped up. They're just going to blow him up.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Taken out with that shotgun, and You know what? They've got a wave right here. They have the Rift Herald buff should they want to
Last week on that champion. I feel like it still has a place, but Graves to me outclasses her in a very similar way.
Yeah. I just feel that with Nidalee, there's always a better answer for a composition than having Nidalee because she's a bit feast or famine. You have to get that Rod of Ages scaling up, and like Elise or Rek'Sai with a 2-threat poke comp with like Varus and Corki. Uh-oh, somebody's just gonna go in right now and knock up Wraith. Wraith is just destroyed by collateral damage. Ambition flashes over the wall, but he's got a dozen spears in him already, and now Arrow with the finisher on the red. Meanwhile, Fly found Crown on the flank and prevented him from really joining in that battle at all. Really smooth dive.
Graves has a lazy 2,800 gold lead over Ambition.
Uh-oh, there's the flash in, and Crown gets just nuked in that backside. Fly gonna catch him and take the kill. Meanwhile, KT Someday now, Screen's claim, slowing them up as they retreat all the way to their inhibitor. And there we go, and Johnny comes in once again, and there we see Fly following him right away. Someday going to pick up the first kill of this fight, and Wraith now has some trouble to deal with as a double kill for Someday as they just pile through that turret. We saw Kuve in the top side trying to deal with those super minions, and that's when KT put the pedal to the metal.
Sometimes we see 2 damage comps. There are 4 damage dealers, including this Poppy coming through from KT. Everyone has burst, everyone has deletion damage. Arrow just skirts around the side looking for those Ren sets. KT have got it all going on.
Yes, they do. So another inhibitor now down, trying to finish out this game. They've got a lot of range damage. They have the Sheen from Poppy, so there's one inhibitor turret. This is going to be the end of the game here at 25 short minutes. KT, a dominant performance, lights out when it comes to kills in game number 1. They finish it 9-0.
And KT seem to have got that 8-day break exactly when they needed it. Have gone back, have obviously changed their style. No longer is it about purely outscale. I think this matchup might be good. I'm really excited to see another data point of Olaf versus Poppy.
Well, here you go, Papa Smithy. Your wishes will be answered shortly, as long as we don't get a lane swap, but I think that KT is going to want that lane swap again. Really Someday able to push up freely and start to roam here into the mid lane, and Crown is dangerously overextended right here, and there's the W. Popped, Crown just gonna get knocked back immediately. Goodbye, Someday finds a kill in the mid lane as Crown.
You're gonna be trading in melee range, so you're gonna be eating those true damage swings from Olaf, so health very, very important in the matchup.
Dragon has begun here. They know Tristana has gone back, and this is going to be pretty easily taken. Score building into that warrior gen, so we are going to see the aggressive Lee Sin build.
Was there ever any doubt, Monty?
No. No, there wasn't. Score wants to carry this game, and he's going to get that opportunity to.
Poppy in trades, or just push in the Poppy, and going for the safer of the 2 choices with the Q.
Oh, Fly actually ults himself preemptively. Hachani is caught out, and guess what? Stitch is there. He's going to get Fates called back, though, and saved, but now he's on to Stitch on the side. Someday is teleported down into the bottom lane, and there goes Stitch, blasted against the wall, and Fly now on the pursuit. Wants to get another glitter lance onto Crown. Nope. Decides to turn around instead. Stitch falls, no one dies on the side of KT, but Someday here is on to Ambition, and Someday is just everywhere. Comes back with the buckler swing from his auto attack to finish the kill. Krugs giving him a helping hand, but Someday has just been everywhere this game.
Just Poppy things, Monte Cristo, and he didn't even know. He didn't need to.
That man, big misplay. KT
he's
with the,
not done.
Yeah, he's not done. KT with the TP disadvantage, and Wraith now, you are in the air. What a knockup. Arrow gets that one. Someday walk out with the or Sam side.
It's pretty hard to outduel a Rek'Sai as a Lee Sin just because of the unburrow, cancelling out your resonating strike, and good control jungling from Ambition. Vindicates the focus onto Score, but Someday has spared the blushes of Scores.
Uses that Rek'Sai ultimate to try and contest a blue buff here. Everybody back at the moment now. 2 TPs up. That's going to be a very, very fast blue buff steal. Ambition gets it. He's caught behind the Pillar of Ice, but there we go. Arrow going to chuck him over the wall. There's Someday once again coming in with the TP. Cuvée coming in from the side too, but there is Score, and now KT Rolster on the retreat. They kick Wraith backwards. However, Someday getting low, Arrow there. And there's a great ultimate from Cassiopeia. This is going to be a big team fight win for Samsung. They're piling in under the turret right now. How far are they going to go? Ambition starts to tank it up, and Chani is going to be low alongside Fly. Fly just trying to recall right now and prevent the ace. They're gonna come in the end, and now Samsung on a 4-for-1 trade. Fly attempts to escape through the enemy jungle, but that was a very nice Cassiopeia ultimate from Crown.
Yeah, really good play from the Cassiopeia. Stitch can catch out Fly. Does he have enough damage to take him out though? Looking likely. No, Fly's gonna run away.
Too much whimsy. Samsung, who
Dragon spawns just now as well.
See an opportunity, and no one's in position, like you said, for the Dragon either. So Samsung massively benefiting off a poor rotation from KT.
No downtime allowed in windows around there.
Mission pushed out Stitch, for some reason all on his own in the top side, and now Someday going to force a TP out of Cuvée. Score is here, he wants to finish it off. There's the kick and the combo, and that Lee Sin does a lot of damage. Fly now coming around the side. Ambition, the next target, gets hit by the Frost Queen's Claim. Cuvée completed his port, and Someday is on the run. Ragnarok has already been used. It's going to fall off and force the flash immediately, and there we go. Someday coming in, but they're in a choke point. They have to be careful about this Cassiopeia right now. Machani splitting off. Fate's Call going to be launching them back onto Crown and Ambition. They're diving the turret right now. They still want this Arrow trying to get as much damage out. 3-man Cassiopeia ult though, a knockup comes through, and are they going to get another one? Yes, Ambition gets a second knockup, but they just don't have the follow-up damage. Ambition barely living, and that is a 1-for-2, surprisingly in favor of Samsung, and we see lots of flashing red by Someday, who comes in from the side, angling for the heroic charge. And here we go again. Ambition in the jungle does get kicked around. Arrow is still there. He's got the Ren. He's going to use it, and there's the finisher. Score comes in, but the Ignite takes it. Score dies to Crown's poison, actually. They're still going hard, though. Stitch found in the backline. Double kill now for Hachani in support. Now Arrow still getting a lot of spears in. Crown the next of all. A triple kill for Hachani. Arrow picks up kill number 4, and that is an ace, courtesy of Someday underneath the turret. We were getting dangerously close to a support pentakill right there.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it was a good ult from Crown, too, to try and take that, but Stitch couldn't find his way underneath the turret.
Stitch was perma-CC'd and died.
Yeah, Crown, too, just taking knockup after knockup right there from the Lulu ult and then the ultimate from Poppy.
The range from the Poppy E into just aggressive, though, just betrays that KT are looking for scraps wherever they can get them. With all the mobility of these champions, Crown can only do so much.
Yeah, Someday actually gets onto Crown, does sidestep that ultimate, now going to knock him up. Can he finish off the kill right here? They're going to target down Someday. Someday with wild growth on him, though, does escape for the moment. That's going to be Arrow actually falling at the start of this fight. All their carries are starting to go down. Fly on the flank. Score still trying to escape Ambition, trying to follow up under this turret, and Someday is going to get targeted, tries to slow them with the Iceborne Gauntlet, and he does, but is this going to be a Baron now for Samsung? They get a catch out in the mid lane, and they turn it into several kills.
Target selection was super good from Samsung. That's the one thing Cassiopeia does, incredible single target damage. They just focused down whoever she was slowing with the Rylizer. Now it's time for the Score Miracle play, or it's going to be Baron for Samsung.
Well, he's got the damage. They do have Fly here too. Are they going to come in? They're going to try and get it. He's going to get popped out of the pit though, and Flash, and Ambition will secure it. Cuvée doesn't die, and they're going to pick up Score too.
Big win for Samsung. Suddenly, the gold lead that had been built up by taking down this mid lane inhibitor, Olaf can do so much damage to a no health.
KT really wants to fight, actually. They're pushing up. They're going to come in on Ambition. Score is there. Someday is here, too. They know there's no teleport onto Cuvée. Now they're going to start the fight immediately. Big knockups coming through once again. Stitch has Someday on top of him. Stitch is going to go down. Meanwhile, Ambition also low. They're going to clean him up. Cuvée finally gets into this fight, but has to ult to leave. Meanwhile, Wraith targeted by Score. So this has been such a bloody game so far. Someday on the pursuit. There's the heroic charge, feeding this Olaf back to the rest of his team, and there you go, dunking him. Crown comes back, but this is probably going to be the end here at 35 minutes.
When you see the replay, you will see something very unlikely, but it was actually Fly who won them this fight by using the polymorph onto Crown when he finally had a chance to use ultimate, was complete non-factor in the fight after that. And you're right, the game's over.
Yeah, it is. There's one turret down. Too much damage coming down onto these turrets. It will be a 2-0 for KT. Samsung fights back in that game, but Sunday puts on a hell of a performance on Poppy, and that's going to be a clean victory.
But what a change of pace for a Korean League of Legends game to be so fighting intensive. It felt like even when people were out of position, KT wanted to fight, they wanted to brawl, they wanted to show that the KT that we have in our minds, this slow, methodical, wave clear focused team.